What research did you do to back up your vote on Senate Bill 7026? And can you point out to any studies that show adding firearms to an environment make it less likely that people will be shot?
We know that throughout the world there have been some horrific school shootings. Of course, probably the worst was in Russia, where over 1,000 people were held hostage and hundreds of children and adults were murdered. They have stopped that by adding more weapons, more security in their schools. We know in Israel that a country that's just under siege, surrounded by enemies, they have armed guards at every school, equivalent, similar to our school resources officers.
I always think back to the Batman movie theater shooting. And I don't know how many of you know this, but the theater he shot up was the third theater he visited. He went to a theater ready to kill people. And the theater had a sign. And the sign said, "We let people in here with guns." And he left. And he went to a second movie theater. And that second movie theater said, "We let people in here with guns." And he left. And he went to a third movie theater that said, "We're a gun-free zone." And he walked in and he shot people. That's what happened. See, I hope that these guns, my hope, I don't get to decide these things, but you can only use the gun in this Guardian program if there's an active shooter situation. My hope is that the guns remain in a fingerprint-secured lockbox, and they're only used if this happens. And the knowledge of deterrence, the knowledge that someone is there, much as happened in this shooting in the movie theater, will keep these people away. We don't want people using guns in schools. We don't want them shooting people. We don't want them shooting back. The idea is, how do we stop it from happening in the first place? And I think there's a lot of good things in this bill that's going to make that happen.
And just to clarify something, we did interview Sheriff Ivey, and I asked him myself, how would the guns be kept? And he said it would be on the person in a concealed holster, so not in a lockbox.